Roller coasters are designed to thrill, but sometimes that thrill turns deadly. Today we're counting down the worst roller coaster deaths ever. Real accidents, real victims, and chilling stories that will make you double-check your seatbelt before your next ride. Let's dive in. You'll want to watch closely. Case 4 is one of the most shocking derailments in history. 1. Mindbender, Galaxyland, Edmonton, Canada, 1986. The Mindbender at Galaxyland in Edmonton, Alberta was a marvel of its time. The tallest indoor roller coaster in the world. It was a favorite among thrill seekers, renowned for its steep drops, high speeds, and loops that pushed riders to the edge of their comfort. On July 14, 1986, visitors filled the park for a summer day of fun, oblivious that this would become a day etched in tragedy. The third train of the day ascended the chain lift, climbing toward one of the ride's highest points. Riders braced themselves for the thrilling descent, but as the train rounded a high-speed curve, the last car suddenly derailed. Eyewitnesses reported screams as the car flipped upside down, smashing into track supports. Panic spread through the park as emergency responders rushed in. By the time the chaos subsided, 3 passengers had died instantly. Another survivor endured multiple fractures and internal injuries, permanently altering their life. Rescue teams worked tirelessly to stabilize victims, but the scene was horrific. Twisted metal, scattered belongings, and a crowd of shocked witnesses. Investigations revealed worn wheels, corroded tracks, and inadequate maintenance as the primary causes. Galaxyland faced immense scrutiny, lawsuits, and public outrage. The tragedy exposed serious flaws in ride inspection protocols, highlighting that thrill attractions required meticulous attention to safety. The aftermath reshaped Canada's amusement park industry. Regulations were overhauled, mandatory inspections, reinforced structures, and improved restraint systems became standard. Survivors and families of the victims became advocates for safety, ensuring the Mindbender accident remained a warning for the future. This catastrophe stands as a chilling reminder. Even rides designed purely for fun can turn deadly in seconds. Visitors now approach roller coasters with more caution, and operators worldwide continue to implement rigorous safety measures to prevent similar disasters. And while this shocked Edmonton, the Mindbender would face another terrifying incident less than a decade later. 2. Big Dipper, Battersea Park, London, UK, 1972. The Big Dipper in Battersea Park, London, was a classic wooden roller coaster that had entertained families for decades. On August 30th, 1972, the ride became the site of one of the deadliest accidents in UK amusement park history. During a routine run, a coaster train derailed while rounding a curve, sending passengers tumbling from the ride. 5 people died, including 2 children, while dozens more were injured. Eyewitnesses recounted the scene, cars flying off the tracks, screams echoing through the park, and frantic bystanders attempting to help the fallen riders. Investigators attributed the disaster to corroded tracks and inconsistent maintenance records. At the time, safety inspections were sporadic, and the ride's wooden structure had deteriorated from years of use. The accident prompted immediate public outrage, media coverage, and scrutiny of amusement park standards nationwide. As a result, the Big Dipper was permanently closed. The tragedy led to UK-wide reforms in roller coaster safety, requiring regular inspections, structural evaluations, and operator training. Families affected by the incident fought for stricter regulations to prevent similar losses. This accident is remembered not just for its death toll, but for its lasting impact on roller coaster safety standards in the UK. It underscored the importance of maintaining older rides and ensuring every component meets rigorous safety requirements. Even decades later, wooden coasters continued to be deadly, but modern metal giants weren't immune either. 3. Krug Park, Big Dipper, Omaha, Nebraska, USA, 1930. Krug Park in Omaha, Nebraska was home to a wooden Big Dipper coaster beloved by thrill seekers. On a hot summer day in 1930, visitors crowded the park to escape the heat and enjoy amusement rides, but the excitement turned fatal when a coaster train derailed mid-ride, causing a catastrophic accident. 4 people died and dozens more were injured. Eyewitnesses described cars flipping and passengers being thrown violently from their seats. Families in the park that day watched in horror as their loved ones were trapped in the wreckage. Emergency responders struggled to remove passengers safely amid the twisted wood and broken steel. Investigators traced the cause to mechanical failure of the ride's wooden structure, exacerbated by age and lack of preventive maintenance. The Krug Park Big Dipper tragedy became a case study in the dangers of neglecting amusement ride upkeep, emphasizing that thrill-seeking fun carries inherent risks if safety is compromised. Public reaction was immediate, with the park facing lawsuits and media scrutiny. The accident contributed to the early development of U.S. amusement park safety regulations, stressing structural integrity and regular inspections. Wooden coasters weren't the only threat. Metal giants with advanced speeds have also claimed lives. 4. Jetline, Gröna Lund, Stockholm, Sweden, 2023. Even modern roller coasters are not immune to tragedy. On July 21, 2023, the Jetline coaster at Gröna Lund Amusement Park in Stockholm, Sweden, derailed, killing 1 rider and injuring 10 others. Eyewitnesses described a terrifying moment. The train rounding a curve suddenly jumped the rail, tossing passengers and sparking panic. Emergency crews arrived immediately, immediately, evacuating injured riders and stabilizing the scene. The victim died at the scene, while several survivors sustained broken bones and internal injuries. Investigators found metal fatigue in the support structure, and lapses in safety inspections contributed to the derailment. The park was immediately closed, and all roller coasters underwent thorough inspections. This incident shocked Sweden, highlighting that even well-maintained modern attractions carry latent mechanical risks. It prompted nationwide safety reviews and raised questions about inspection frequency and the longevity of amusement park infrastructure. And it's not always derailments, sometimes it's rider behavior and seat restraints that turn deadly. 5. Crystal Beach Cyclone, Ontario, Canada, 1938. The cyclone at Crystal Beach was infamous for its extreme speed and tight curves. On August 15, 1938, a rider tragically stood up mid-ride and was ejected, dying instantly. The park had warned riders to remain seated, but at that time, restraint systems were minimal compared to modern standards. The accident was witnessed by hundreds. The park immediately halted rides, and emergency services attended to the victim. Investigations revealed that the coaster's wooden design, combined with minimal safety restraints, created lethal conditions if riders disobeyed instructions. The tragedy spurred a shift towards stricter enforcement of rider safety rules and the development of modern restraint systems to prevent ejections. Families were devastated, but the incident became a pivotal lesson in the importance of human behavior in ride safety, alongside engineering safeguards. And while some deaths were caused by riders themselves, next we'll see how mechanical failures on modern metal coasters claimed multiple lives in an instant. 6. Coney Island Cyclone, New York, USA. Multiple incidents: 1985, 1988, 2007. The Coney Island Cyclone is one of the most iconic roller coasters in the world. Opened in 1927, it has thrilled millions of riders with its wooden drops and classic twists. However, the Cyclone also has a dark history. Over the decades, several fatal accidents occurred, each highlighting the dangers of high-speed rides, even in well-known parks. In 1985, a rider standing up during the ride fell and died, prompting the park to reinforce safety instructions. In 1988, another rider was ejected due to improperly secured restraints, and in 2007, a guest suffered fatal injuries after a coaster car derailed slightly at a curve. Eyewitnesses described screams, chaos, and panic as emergency teams responded. Investigations consistently pointed to two factors: rider behavior and aging coaster infrastructure. While the Cyclone was maintained and inspected, wooden coasters are prone to wear and tear, increasing risk if combined with human error. These incidents led to significant upgrades, modern restraint systems, more rigorous ride inspections, and stricter park rules about rider behavior. Families and thrill seekers alike were reminded that even classic rides require constant vigilance. From classic wooden coasters to modern steel giants, accidents don't discriminate. Next, a deadly crash on a high-speed metal coaster shocked Canada. 7. Mindbender 2, Galaxyland, Edmonton, Canada, 1995. Less than a decade after the original Mindbender disaster, Galaxyland faced another tragedy. In 1995, a maintenance oversight caused a coaster car to detach mid-ride, resulting in the death of a 16-year-old girl. Investigators discovered that improper lubrication and a missing locking pin on the restraint system allowed the car to derail. The accident left multiple riders injured and traumatized, and emergency crews faced a chaotic rescue amid twisted metal and screaming passengers. The incident renewed scrutiny on roller coaster maintenance and led to strict operational protocols at Galaxyland. Staff were retrained, and double-check systems were instituted to ensure rides could not operate with even minor faults. The Mindbender tragedies underline a chilling lesson: repeating past mistakes can cost lives. Families of the victims became advocates for ride safety, demanding inspections and standards that continue to protect amusement park guests today. Mechanical failures aren't always the cause. Sometimes human error plays a deadly role, as we'll see next. 8. Fujin Raijin 2, Expoland, Osaka, Japan, 2007. On December 5, 2007, Fujin Raijin 2 at Expoland Amusement Park in Osaka, Japan, suffered a derailment that killed one passenger and injured 19 others. The coaster, a steel thrill ride known for intense loops and high speeds, jumped the rails at a curve. Witnesses reported a terrifying scene: cars tumbling, passengers screaming, and emergency teams rushing in. Investigators later determined that metal fatigue and lack of comprehensive safety audits caused the disaster. Expoland closed immediately, never to reopen. Japanese authorities mandated nationwide inspections of all roller coasters, and stricter ride certification processes were implemented to prevent similar incidents. Even parks with modern steel coasters can experience catastrophic failures, but accidents aren't always derailments. Sometimes restraints fail entirely. 9. Big Apple Coaster, New York, USA, 2006. 2007, the Big Apple coaster in Times Square, New York, experienced a tragic mechanical failure. During a high-speed section, a restraint malfunction caused a rider to be partially ejected, resulting in fatal injuries. Investigators found that poor maintenance of the ride's hydraulic system contributed to the accident. The park temporarily closed the ride and overhauled safety protocols. This incident highlighted the risks of urban amusement parks, where high-intensity rides often operate in close quarters. It also emphasized the importance of rigorous mechanical checks and the role of maintenance staff in preventing fatalities. Mechanical failure can strike anywhere, sometimes, even during routine maintenance, as the next case tragically shows. 10. Steel Phantom, Kennywood Park, Pennsylvania, USA, 1991. Steel Phantom at Kennywood Park, known for its high-speed drops, claimed its first fatality during routine testing in 1991. A malfunction caused one car to derail, killing a maintenance worker and injuring several riders. The incident prompted a full structural review and reconstruction of the ride, with added safety features before reopening. The accident reinforced that even with strict safety measures, high-speed roller coasters carry inherent risk. Accidents don't only happen on rides. Sometimes they occur on the safety checks themselves, as we'll see next. 11. Priyanka Rawat, Fun and Food Water and Amusement Park, India, 2025. In 2025, Priyanka Rawat, a 28-year-old woman, tragically died while riding a roller coaster at Fun and Food Water and Amusement Park in India. The ride, a modern steel coaster known for its high-speed loops, had been operating safely for years. Eyewitnesses described Priyanka's scream as she was ejected from her seat mid-ride, despite the coaster's restraint systems. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators found that a faulty seatbelt and mechanical restraint failure caused the accident. The park faced immediate scrutiny from local authorities and media outlets. Families visiting the park were horrified, and social media spread graphic accounts of the incident. The tragedy prompted the Indian amusement park industry to reassess safety protocols nationwide. This accident was a reminder that even modern rides with advanced safety systems can become deadly when equipment fails. From a single rider to multiple fatalities, the next case shows how one accident can injure dozens in seconds. 12. Universal Epic Universe, Stardust Racers, Orlando, USA, 2025. In 2025, a ride at Universal Epic Universe, Stardust Racers, caused a tragic death. During the coaster's final loop, a rider suffered blunt force trauma and was killed instantly. Other riders were shaken but survived. Investigators concluded that an unexpected mechanical jolt likely caused the fatal injuries. Emergency procedures were immediately implemented and the ride was closed for inspection. The park also reviewed all operational protocols, emphasizing real-time monitoring to prevent similar tragedies. This incident highlighted that fatalities on roller coasters aren't always due to derailments. They can occur even when rides are functioning nominally, showing how unexpected forces can have deadly consequences. Next, a tragedy shows how simple mistakes during routine rides can become fatal in seconds. 13. Darien Lake Amusement Park, New York, USA, reported. At Darien Lake, a passenger slipped from a harness and died while riding a steel coaster in the early 2000s. Witnesses reported screams as the victim fell from a high point on the ride. Investigators determined that improperly secured restraints combined with rider movement caused the fatality. The park faced lawsuits and mandated stricter staff training and double-check protocols. The tragedy served as a warning. Even minor lapses in restraint checks can have deadly consequences. Mechanical failures aren't always the cause. Sometimes collisions and human error take lives, as our next case shows. 14. Overseas Chinese Town East Theme Park. A collision at the Overseas Chinese Town East Theme Park in China caused multiple fatalities when two coaster trains collided on the track. The accident was caused by operator error and signal failure, and emergency crews were challenged by the complexity of extracting injured passengers. This incident prompted Chinese amusement parks to implement automated signaling systems, stricter operator training, and emergency response protocols to prevent similar collisions. From collisions to near misses, the next tragedy shows how even seemingly safe rides can fail during routine operation. 15. Six Flags Over Georgia, USA. At Six Flags Over Georgia, a rider reached for a hat mid-ride and fell from a coaster in the early 2000s. Although fatalities are rare for such incidents, this event resulted in a death due to impact with the track's base. The park reinforced safety messaging. Riders must remain seated at all times, and additional safety netting was installed along ride edges. This incident demonstrates how minor distractions or mistakes can quickly become fatal. Sometimes employees, not guests, become victims. Next is a fatality during routine ride maintenance. 16. Loudoun Castle Amusement Park. An employee at Loudoun Castle in Scotland died in a roller coaster maintenance accident. While testing a ride, a mechanical malfunction caused the worker to be struck by a moving car. The tragedy highlighted the dangers of maintenance work on active rides, prompting parks across the UK to adopt strict lockout-tagout procedures and enhanced worker training to prevent similar accidents. Fatalities aren't limited to staff. Visitors are at risk too, as seen in the next case. 17. Oakwood Theme Park, Wales, UK reported. At Oakwood Theme Park, a visitor fell from a coaster due to improperly secured restraints. The ride was temporarily shut down, and safety inspections revealed the restraint mechanism had worn over time. This prompted Oakwood to update all restraint systems, and the incident became a case study in the importance of monitoring ride components for wear and tear. Even smaller parks face deadly risks. Next, a fatal accident at Gulliver's World demonstrates the same lesson. 18. Gulliver's World Theme Park. A rider at Gulliver's World fell from a roller coaster in the early 2000s. Despite the ride being fully inspected, human error, both rider and operator, contributed to the fatality. Emergency procedures were strengthened, and staff received enhanced training on ensuring restraints are properly secured before rides depart. The park also introduced additional safety messaging for visitors. High speeds and mechanical tension can be deadly. Next, a cable failure at Six Flags Kentucky proves it. 19. Six Flags Kentucky. A cable snapped during a roller coaster ride at Six Flags Kentucky, killing one passenger and injuring several others. Investigations found that metal fatigue and insufficient inspection protocols caused the failure. The park immediately reviewed all rides with cables, instituted frequent inspections, and replaced aging components. This incident reinforced that ride integrity must be continuously monitored, especially for high-tension components. Finally, we end with a tragic fatality on one of the world's most famous rides, Disneyland's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. 20. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Disneyland, California, USA, 2003. At Disneyland, a rider was ejected from Big Thunder Mountain Railroad due to improper restraint usage. The 2003 incident resulted in one death and serious injuries to another. Disneyland immediately reviewed all safety procedures, installed secondary seatbelts, and increased staff training. The tragedy became a case study in ride safety management, proving that even the most popular attractions carry inherent risks if vigilance lapses. These stories remind us that roller coasters, while thrilling, carry real risks. From derailments and collisions to restraint failures and human error, every accident has reshaped safety standards and saved lives. Though tragically, too late for some. Strap in, hold tight, and never underestimate the importance of safety when chasing thrills.